Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Day two of this great casino source code event sale. Today we're going to talk about retention and retention drivers, specifically in casino games, which is always a fun topic. So welcome, and I wanted to thank you for making it back today. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to everyone who purchased the Surf Slots code. That's a huge response. It was totally awesome. It was really interesting is that a lot of new people bought it. They finally took the plunge, made a move into reskins, which is awesome. But also, there was a ton of people that had purchased the Surf Slots or Ocean Slots beforehand, and they decided they wanted to push it over to the new platforms, which is really exciting because I think that there's so many new opportunities in the Google Play and the Amazon store. So really excited to see that. Okay, so today, guys, I know I really appreciate your time, and I'm really conscious of your time, so I want to make sure that you get the max value. And so today what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a couple of casino tips, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to be actionable with it, and then we're going to talk about the source code that's for sale today. And hopefully we're going to just run through this and make sure that you guys get tons of value out of it. So the word of the day today is retention. Everyone loves retention. It seems to be kind of a hot topic these days. And what is retention? Retention is keeping players engaged, right? So when you talk about retention, you want to talk about how you can get someone to play more and specifically how you can get them to spend more money in your game. So you want them hanging out, having a lot of fun, and in casino games, what that means is that they're being more entertained. It's like they're having a better experience, a better time, and that often leads to them spending more money in your games. That's why retention is so important. Now, there's two ways to approach looking at retention, right? There's two different ways to kind of see this all. The first is that you improve the actual game itself. And that means that you have your games. Let's say you have a slot machine game and you always say, I want to improve my retention. You go into the slot machine game and we're going to go through how you would make that game better so that it's higher retention levels. Now, the other way you can do it is that you look at the actual game type. Now, this is more of a macro view. This is something you think about a little bit before you make any strong decision about once you kind of decide the game. But when you look at the different types of games, there's different profiles. So let's start with improving the game. If you want to improve your retention, when you want to improve the actual game, what do? You look at the bonus levels and you add bonus levels, right? So let's say you've got 10 different rooms in your slot machine game and you say, all right, I'm going to add 5 more, and you keep doing that every month. That's a great way to increase retention because it gives people a reason to come back and to keep playing longer and longer. The second is reward. So you can do this by hard coding in or various different ways where, okay, so someone reaches level 4, you say, hey, thanks so much for getting this far. Here's 10,000 free coins. Keep playing. They're going to keep playing and they're going to keep spending those coins you give them. Updates. Listen to the reviews. Listen to what people ask you what they're looking for. And improve the game, make it better, make the development better, make it smoother, remove some of the reasons it crashes. That's going to help keep people around. And then finally, notifications. Push notifications and local notifications are both very powerful in the sense that they can get people re-engaged with the app and continuing to have the experiences to keep them playing. Now, the second side of retention is the game type. And the game type refers to what actual game you're playing. So in the casino world, what do we care about? Like, is it poker? Is it slot machines? Is it blackjack? Is it, craps? What is it? And what does that all come down to? Well, it usually comes down to, like, the demographic profile, like what kind of people are playing. But more importantly, what it comes down to, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, is the payouts, right? Payouts is the golden word here because payouts are just kind of another way to talk about the odds that you're going to win money. And as we all know, the odds in pretty much every casino game are always the house always wins, right? We know that. But you still have flexibility. So whenever you have better payouts, your retention is going to be better, right? And so obviously that's why casinos often advertise things like, hey, our slot machines have 99% payouts. What does that mean? It means that your odds of winning are very close to 50-50. So in this case, with 99%, that means that your odds of winning are like 49.8% or whatever, or 5%. And the house odds are 50.5 or whatever it may be. Now, the reason you want to have high payouts is because people get that winning experience over and over, and they keep playing and they keep feeling like they're winning. And when you have a low payout, they feel like they're losing all the time, and the house makes a lot of money much faster, but the people don't stick around for very long whatsoever. And so it's really important to think about, like, well, how can I have a high payout to increase retention without, but still have it low enough that I'm making a lot of money? That's kind of the sweet spot. And the place to start is to ask the question, well, what games have the best payouts? Like, what games should I be picking to make this best payout? And this is very similar to looking at casinos in general, like house brick and mortar casinos, not just mobile casinos, because they're going to have pretty much the same profile of demographics in there. And what you find is that these are the top three. Slot machines are not included here because slot machines is completely variable, especially video slot machine games, because that all can get you can change that pretty often. Now, obviously, it's hard coded in real money, but for our intents and purposes, you can change those payouts very easily. Now, in blackjack, craps, and roulette, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, other than card counting and things like that, you're playing against the house. You're not playing against another person like you would be in poker. And so people know that these odds and these payouts are pretty much established as you see them over the long term, especially in a casino. So when you look at these, there's not a whole lot of variables that you can take into account on how you can consistently win with this. That's why you don't see a whole lot of professional roulette players, but you do with poker, right? And the thing about roulette is that, or like any of these, is that it's almost 50-50, right? When you look at roulette, it is so black and white and the math is right there. It's almost 50-50. Do you pick black or do you pick red? Do you pick odd or do you pick even? The only things that change that put it in the house's favor are the 0 and the double 0. And what that does is it makes it like whatever, 49 to 51% odds, which is what, 98% payout. And there's virtually no human influence. I mean, people don't, it doesn't matter who's there, for the ball's going to land where it lands. And that's why roulette has very high payouts relative to others. And that's why it can have really, really good retention. And with high retention situations, you can keep people playing. And so that's why Vegas will always, or any casino will always try to keep the retention really, really high because they know that that's how they're going to make a lot of their money. And so what roulette games do is they use the idea of streaks to do this. Now, if you've ever been in a casino and you see a roulette table, you're also going to see a sign above the casino. And this is actually a relatively new, relatively like 20 or 30 years ago, they started doing this. They put up a sign that shows you all the numbers that have just been won. And what they do is they convince you that there's streaks happening, right? So you're going to see 7 or 8 black numbers in a row, and you're going to be like, well, it's got to go red. I mean, it has to go red, right? And like this is just one of the things Vegas does. They convince you that there's the idea of streaks. They influence you with emotion so that you lose sight of the fact that it's still a math equation and that probability is like still going to dominate, right? But the best part is you can do this exact same thing in your apps, especially in casino apps. You can get people to take very high payout games that they're assuming that the payouts are going to be great because that's how the game is built. But you can build in the idea of emotional, like, oh, maybe the odds are different this time, or maybe there's going to be a difference in the probability. Even though the math is never going to change, you can change that, and that's the entertainment. That's what people are paying for. That's what they like to feel. And so what you can do in these games, especially in roulette games, is you can show people what the hot numbers are that are coming up. You can say like, look, these numbers, the number 27's hit 4 times in the last hour. Like clearly 27's hot right now. Like you can tell people that. Or you can use push notifications and say, look, we've had 12 black numbers in a row. Do not miss this hot streak. Red's coming up. You know it is. You got to place a bet. And all these sort of things are going to keep them spinning. And honestly, like, this is just about entertainment. It's just about continuing to play the game because they like to see if they're going to be right or not. That's why they play roulette. That's why they're downloading apps and spending money on them. And so some of you guys might already have a roulette game in the App Store, and that's awesome because we were selling it for a little while on Bluecloud, and that's totally great. And if you have that, I would definitely recommend implementing this. It's totally up to you. It's all free. I mean, go and do it. The information is there. You have it. You can go do it for free. And what we did is we were selling this for a while on Bluecloud. I kind of took it off for a while, put it back on, took it off, because I didn't want everyone in the world to have it. And so what we did in the meantime is we took it and we updated it. We got it to iOS 8, we got it to Google Play, we got it to Amazon. We really made the code come alive, and it updated everything like totally dialed in, ready to go, which is great because there was a couple things we cleaned up and exported it all. And what's even more impressive is that this game just kills it on the eCPMs. I mean, with ads and everything else, it does really, really well, which is awesome to see. $47, that's anywhere from like 30 up to 60, and you can kind of see that it's been doing that for a while, and it's still happening, which is awesome to see that it's kind of a long-term thing. And we're selling it for $299 on the Bluecloud site, which is just the iOS version. Now, is the Cocos 2DX code, which means that you can export it to everything, but you'd have to do that with your own developer on your own time. We were only selling the iOS version. So it's $300 iOS only with the Coco StudiX. And so what we did is we got it, and we got the iOS 8 version, the Google version, and the Amazon version, and now we're selling it today only for $49. You get all three of them, all optimized, all ready to go. Everything's ready, SDKs, everything, for $50, $49. That's gonna be a 24-hour sale, which is, I mean, that's just, you can't really beat that. And even if you already bought it, or even if you own the iOS version from a previous purchase, and you never did the export, this is going to save you a ton of money. And more importantly, it's going to save you a ton of time because it's done already, it's done right, and it's already updated. Everything's ready to go for you. Because I really wanted to hook up to anyone who's purchased this and hasn't made this happen yet. For $49, I mean, that's a no-brainer. You can just pop your graphics right in there and you're ready to go. And if you haven't purchased this, I mean, now is the time. Like, this is a great deal. It's going to be up for 24 hours just like everything else. You can kind of check back and watch this again, or check it out in your link, do whatever you want. But you got 24 hours for that price. It's gonna be a great code to test your retention tricks on. Honestly, like, even if you don't want to buy it, that's totally cool. I totally get it. And but you should try that retention stuff, because using the idea of hot streaks in roulette games is a terrific way to increase retention. So you can do that for free. You don't need this code to do it if you already have one. I always like to remind people we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. That's a big deal for me because I really want to make sure you guys are pumped about your purchases. A lot of people don't do returns on digital products, but you trust me, so I trust you. And we want to make sure that you realize that this is a risk-free operation. I want you to be able to test it out, give it a trial run, and if anything comes up, just let us know. And no questions asked type of situation. So just click the button below. $49. Take advantage of this right now. It's going to be great. What we're going to do tomorrow is talking about some niche casino games, which is really, really cool because I found some hidden gems in the casino category that haven't really been talked about at all, which is kind of mind-blowing. But we're going to start to get into that. We're going to have a few days of niche game stuff starting tomorrow. So definitely come back and check it out. Until then, check out the link below. It's going to be around till tomorrow. And if you haven't set a daily reminder, do it now, because I can promise you we're gonna start to see some really, really cool stuff. I think today's promotions, this is a good indication of the kind of stuff you're gonna see. That's just kind of like, holy shit, this is awesome. So anyway, see you tomorrow, and right on. Thanks for taking the time, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.